Dr. Seth Hornak here, founder of Dr. Seth's line of vitamins. Super happy to have Micah Mason here from Mason Elite. Micah is the all-time leading three-point shooter in the history of basketball in the NCAA. So this is better than Ray Allen, better percentage than Steph Curry. This guy was a shooting machine. I've seen videos of where Micah has made 97 out of 100 three-pointers. And he just posted a video recently of him hitting, right now, 48 out of 50 from the three-point line. It's just got like 3 million views. So we're excited to work on him and get him lined up so he can stay at the top of his game. And he trains athletes at his personal facility that he owns locally here in the Pittsburgh area as well. So we'll post that down below. So we're going to get him hooked up, and we're going to hook up his low back and hip area today. So you can put your leg out, push towards me. Okay, that's a little bit weaker. I'm going to push over here from left to right. So straighten your leg out, push towards me again, and that tightens his leg up. I'm going to pull the vertebrae the opposite way. Now we're going from right to left. I'm going to pull it in the opposite direction, push towards me, and that weakens him quite a bit. So we know that his segment is shifted to the left side. When this rotates out, it's going to affect the hip musculature, the glute in particular. So we have to push this from left to right. You can bend forward and backward, and then lean to the right and left, and twist to the right and left. Alright, I'm going to use the activator just to help push that over a little bit better. You can bend forward and backward again, and lean right to left, and twist your shoulders to the right and left. Alright, perfect. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit more vibration on this area as well. You can bend forward and backward, lean right to left, and twist right to left. And you also do a couple sit to stand positions, so you can just stand up and then go back down again, and then go back up again, come back down, and go back up. Perfect. All right. So let's recheck that muscle that was previously weak. You can straighten your leg out, push towards me, and that kicks it back on. You feel a big difference there?
Way better.
Okay, perfect. Let's check quad strength next. So lift your leg up directly, and then lift your opposite leg up. We'll check some other muscles around your hip. This is the sartorius muscle. Bring your leg up. Hold there. So that's a little bit weak too. And that's nicknamed the tailor's muscle. It's actually the longest muscle in the body. When tailors used to do their sewing, they'd be in this position, and they would get really sore. So let's make sure you're strong on this side. So that's good on the right, but the left, a little bit weak. So the nerve supply for this area is a little bit higher, so I want you to touch right in here. And again, push towards midline. One thing that's pretty cool, if you find a muscle deficiency or weakness, if you go to the nerve supply, the vertebrae 90% of the time shifts towards the side of involvement. So in this case, it's the left side, so we're pushing the vertebrae from left to right. So bring your leg up again and hold there. And that just tightens you right out. It's really weird, isn't it? You can bring your leg across, your hand across, and then pull back to midline. Yep. Bring your leg up again. We'll do the same one, and this will probably be a lot weaker. So this is even big, I think, for athletes for like injury prevention. So a lot of times you'll see athletes get injured, and it's like a non-contact injury. They'll like just twist or turn, and they'll blow their knee out or have a major injury. And I really believe it's because there's muscle imbalances around that joint, so the athlete's basically putting themselves in a position of weakness, and then instead of the muscle absorbing the force, the joint ends up taking the brunt of it. So this is, it also helps performance as well. So bend forward and backward again, and then lean to the right and left, and twist to the right and left. We're just trying to get these segments moving for them. Okay, so that should be better now. Let's recheck that. You can bring your leg up and hold there. I'm going to rotate. So that's much more solid. You feel a big difference there? So the next muscle we're going to check is your IT band that comes on the outside of your hip. So turn your foot in. I'm going to push down and in, and that's perfect. Now I'm going to check the gracilis. It's a small muscle on the inside of the leg. Turn your foot in again. I'm going to push up and out, and that's perfect. Okay, so let's check a muscle behind your knee, the popliteus. Turn your foot inward. That's excellent too. So we got all those balanced out. Let's just make sure your quad's firing. Perfect. Let's check the back of your leg to the hamstring. Pull your heel towards you. Oops, like directly back this way. That's good. Pull your heel towards you again, and towards you again. Perfect. You have no weaknesses there. So, yeah, you just had the glute and then that sartorius muscle shut down a little bit. So, okay. Bring your arms up. Let's just make sure you're in good shape here. Instead of hitting 48 out of 53s, maybe he'll hit 50 out of 59. Bring your arms down. Oh, let me ask you this too, Micah. Because I was never like a really good shooter. I was a decent like dribbler and I could take it to the hole. But when you're shooting like 97 out of 100 and you miss those three, do you get really ticked at the misses?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'm really ticked at misses. There's even videos where I'm shooting, and if I don't make 50 in a row or 25 in a row, I start right over. So, definitely a perfectionist.
That's awesome. Bring your arms up. Yeah, I never had that problem at all with shooting. I'm like 1, 2, back to 1 again if I was doing that. Back to 1. You can drop your arms down. Now catching balls, that was a little bit of a different story. So I would do kind of the same thing with my hands, trying to, catch so many balls in a row, or do like different drills and make sure I got those properly done. All right, you can drop your arms down. So turn your face to the right. As you turn to the right, all your segments need to shift to midline. So I'm just pushing those over. Go back to the left side. Go back to the right side, and go back to the left side. Good. You can come back to neutral. If you look Mike up online, and you can look at the top shooting percentages from the three-point land, his name is at the top of the list, ahead of Steph Curry, ahead of these NBA giants. So maybe some team will still give you a look, man. They might pull you in for like, we need a three. We need a three at the end of the game. We're gonna pop Micah and set a couple picks for you. You can lay on your back. All right, cool. I'm just going to roll your hips out here. Is that okay for you?
Yep.
That's a good stretch up here, a form of stretch. I'm sure you do things like this with basketball. Bend this knee up, and we're going to go right behind your ankle. Is that okay for you?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to roll your other hip out. Now we're just going to go up and out. This really helps open up the hip. I'm also going to come across the midline. This hits a lot of the lumbar region. And we'll stretch this pretty good. That's not too much. All right, we'll do some just local kind of hamstring stretches. Push against me and relax. Good. Push against me and relax. Push against me and relax. Push against me again and relax. Nice. All right, let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Push against me and relax. Push against me and relax. So let's do it again. Push against me and relax. It was funny, Mike. I was talking with your dad, and he was showing me some like shooting drills, and I was showing some of those with the girls that I coach in hoops, and it was like amazing how just doing those few different techniques, what a difference it made for the shooting percentages and even the power for the girls.
Yeah.
Some things. So it's amazing. Like, it's all about the technique, really, the coaching.
Sure.
It's not just going out and doing it, right? You have to have like perfection.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing is getting the fundamentals down first.
Right.
A lot of kids, I think, pass up on the fundamentals.
Yeah,
and then
right.
maybe they're in 8th or 9th grade and they're lacking those. But if you really get those down, it'll really be beneficial for them.
Right. Plus, too, like, I know even with like football and different techniques, you have a certain amount of muscle memory. So, for example, like if someone's in the weight room and they're out of the weight room for a while, and they get back, it's easy to get back to where you were before, and because your muscles remember. So I even feel like you can develop bad habits too. So like at a young age, right, people can start shooting. I know one kid I would play with, he would always shoot from the side, and like even when he was in high school, then he couldn't adapt to the proper shooting form. He was still shooting from the side. So, like,
Yeah.
do you think it's important at a young age to kind of start?
Yeah, for sure. And now I have my 6-year-old son who I can kind of see it firsthand with.
Right.
And kind of just building the basic fundamentals that I just spoke
Exactly.
about and kind of just build off of them. And then hopefully when he's older, 8th, 9th, like senior in high school, when he's strong enough, it'll all come into play. I think you got to learn the basics and then rep them out for sure.
Right. That makes sense. And then it becomes like second nature.
Yep.
You can lay towards me on your side. All right. I'm just going to loosen a little bit. Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
All right. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Okay, perfect. You can lay the opposite way. All right. Is that okay for you, Micah?
Yep.
Okay, good. You can go face down as well. Over this. You're going to feel the table go up and down. And just pushing your lumbars from left to right. I'm going to open up the left side. A lot of times if someone's having like a hip problem or low back issue on that particular side, it's better to kind of open up that particular side and have the convexity over there. So if you had a right side issue, we would rotate the table the opposite way, but with the left side issue, we really want to open up the left side to take the pressure off the discs and those nerve roots as well. I'm also a huge fan of vibration, especially with movement. Vibration not only helps lymphatic flow, which is your white blood cell flow to an area which can help repair the region, but it also helps the tension on the muscle group. So as you go into a different position, bending, twisting, walking, the muscles need to stretch and contract like a rubber band. So at certain angles, the muscles might go into spasm or they might go very weak. When you put vibration on the muscle with the movement, it tends to reset the tension or tone on the musculature. So it's a nice little tip for healing injuries a lot faster. And this is just the main action of the piriformis muscle that runs right across the hip area. And it's almost involved in all low back and hip issues typically. The lower lumbars will shift towards that side, and then you'll get a lot of tension on that muscle group. This is a really good maneuver for athletes as well. It really works the SI joint, which is really stressed when you're sprinting, running, jumping. It'll jam a little bit. Typically, the sacrum, which is like the foundation of the spine, instead of it being level, the sacrum will drop on the affected side. When the sacrum drops, the lumbars shift downhill, basically with gravity. And then when the sacrum drops, the SI joint gets jammed, and every time you walk, it has to pivot back and forth. So we're just trying to reestablish a good motion in the pelvic area. So we're lifting up the sacrum on that left side. And then being it's dropped on the left, we're rotating it kind of clockwise to get that level. And then we're pushing all these lumbars back towards midline as well. And that balances a lot of the musculature right around the hip region. Is that okay pressure-wise? No?
Yep.
No problems. Perfect. We're going to come back to neutral. All right. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Turn your face to the right side. It's funny, Micah, because you can say, like, you were the best three-point shooter in the history of basketball. And I don't even think I was the best shooter in my family. Like, my dad can still beat me shooting basketball. So it's like embarrassing. Go back to the left side.
That's not good, sir.
That's not good. Go back to the right side. Go back to the left side. Put your ear on your right shoulder. Go back to the left side. You can put your arms behind your back if you don't mind. And then put your arms above your head as if you're diving into a swimming pool. All right, perfect. You can stand up. I'm just going to check you in the standing position a little bit here as well. You can come over here, and I'm just going to have you kind of go up and back with your legs as well. And then rotate your leg in and out towards midline. There we go. And then just straight turn your foot in and out. And if you don't mind doing like a figure 8 maneuver as well. And let's do the same thing on the left. You can go up and back. And then rotate your leg in and out. And turn your foot just in and out. And then do kind of like that figure 8 movement. All right, excellent. So basically what you're going to want to do on your own now, being that your sacrum dropped a little bit on the left side, I would just kind of continually go into this position, lift up. You want to take your left hand and just continually push left to right and try to do that with different movements, forward, backward, side to side. I know even like the sit to stand was bothering you a little bit, so one of the tricks to really getting an injury better quickly, you generally want to go into a bad position, because when you're in the bad position, there's something that's dysfunctional basically going on. You want to make the correction in the bad position and then go in and out of that position. So for example, if someone was hurting, like going from a sit to a standing position, what's happening, the vertebrae is sticking to the left side, so the signal is being sent from this area up to the brain, and the body remembers that signaling, so you want to kind of push it over while you're going in and out of that position and making the correction. The body will kind of hold that muscle memory, so you definitely want to do those. The SI joints, to get those moving, you want to make a fist as you're going backwards, or you can hold on to kind of the wall while you're pushing backwards, and on a side view, you're kind of pushing forward as you're going backwards, so it's kind of in combination with each other. We definitely want to stretch above and below the disc area, so you can do like the standing scissor kick. Pretty standard movement. The side stretch, you're laying on your side, which we were kind of doing for you. You're letting your leg hang over, twisting backwards. The thigh pushes, I really like this one. You can get one of those low back tracks where you're pushing down on your thighs. Obviously, the piriformis stretches are huge. You probably do a lot of those with your athletes already.
Right.
You can also do it kind of this way off the table, or a lot of people do them off the ground too. And then I think really just getting everything really loose and warmed up, just hip rolls, hip extensions, even down in that kneeling position too. And that cat horse is another pretty good one. So cool. How do you feel with after your adjustment? And
Feel a lot better. I remember when I came in last week, I couldn't move in the hip, and basically instantly after my adjustment, I was able to completely bend down and touch my toes, and I feel much better. So thanks.
Absolutely, so cool. Yeah, and I think like just getting all the muscles kicked on around that joint. It sounds like pretty simple, but it really is. It's that simple. You just want to get all the muscles to fire properly around a joint, because the muscles are actually what move the bones. So if we can get those to fire in the proper mechanism, you're going to have a good tug of war, like two springs pulling against each other, and it really helps the function of that area, and hopefully helps the performance. So you have to let me know if you hit 50 out of 50. So
I think it's coming.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us for the video. If you liked the video, please like it, and then also subscribe to our channel. We promise to give you good, clean content.